how to prepare the business for sale. Of course, with every business meeting, whether it's on Zoom, Teams, whether it's face-to-face, you want to look sharp, you want to come well presented, you want to show that you're serious and you're motivated, and the buyer should as well, in that regard, to ensure that professional environment really. You want to have your accounts up to date. It's important that your accounts are up to date, and you have at least 3 years accounts available. You have management accounts available. So it's important to have transparency on that, and they're going to want to have a look at that and look at that carefully. Have your contracts in good order. All of those contracts you have with customers we talked about, all of the recurring revenues and how they are important to sellers. Having customers and longevity customers are just as important to buyers as well. You want to make sure that everything's tidy and in order. Prepare your second tier management team. We've touched on that as well. Alan mentioned that. It's important. That continuity is really key and critical for a buyer. Having a second tier management team is so valuable. Removing yourself from the day-to-day and sort of relinquishing your responsibility with some of those key clients. These are all things that a buyer's going to look for. They're going to want to see a team that's capable and able to continue taking the business forward post-sale and once you've exited. Even if you've got a 12-month handover to work, it's important to demonstrate and get across to a buyer that you're not involved in the business anymore. Or if you are, you've certainly already got an exit strategy and a plan to relinquish that responsibility. Also, pay your taxes in full and on time, of course. It goes without saying. You don't want to get to a position further down the line in a transaction and there's going to be things that come out of the due diligence that's going to give a buyer cause for concern. Taxes are one of those things that can be a problem for many buyers, especially if you've been involved in some of these e-firm schemes or other types of firms schemes, which can be sort of a little bit problematic, shall we say, in the eyes of a buyer. Likewise, settle up any litigations, or every business sometimes encounters these problems. But if there's a health and safety issue, or a issue with a staff member or something of that nature, you just want to make sure it's been dealt with. If it's a client dispute or a supplier dispute, you just want to make sure that these things are all done and dusted really before you start to market your business. So before you start to start thinking about having serious conversations with buyers, because they're only going to pick at them and they're going to use them as a way to maybe perhaps negotiate the price down as well. And that's clearly something you don't want. Update your accountant. If you've got an accountant that you work well with, let them be involved in the process. It's important that they come on board. They can actually help you as well, especially when it comes to looking at the technical side of doing deals. You've got to look at other aspects as well as just the deal price and the structure. You want to look at making sure that the cash and the debt and everything else is considered when focused on a transaction. You want to also choose an experienced M&A lawyer. I've been involved in deals that have just dragged on and on and on, and that's because the lawyers, as much as they're maybe good friends and they've been involved in commercial agreements and so on and so forth, there are so many attributes in M&A law that can go over the heads and can cause a lot of delays. So we can, as Chelsea Corporate, introduce somebody to you as well if it's not obviously a conflict of interest. It is important that you speak to somebody that's done deals before and even better, deals in your sector before. So these are the sorts of things you want to think about when speaking to lawyers.
Chelsea Corporate is pure buy-side M&A advisory firm. Some of you will obviously know this. We've been around for more than 12 years. We cover pretty much every sector within the UK and also internationally, from services to manufacturing, engineering, pharmaceuticals, medical devices, etc. And we work proactively based on the mandates that we get from our clients, which are business buyers. We have an unparalleled wealth of expertise across the team. I think if we put all of them together, we will have more than 150 years of experience in the M&A world. We would like to think that we have a very good idea in terms of what buyers of businesses want and what they are actually looking for, and what kind of business is attractive to them. Worth mentioning also a couple of additional points. We don't charge sellers fees, so there is no conflict of interest whatsoever. More often than not, we work with business owners who are not represented by a broker at all. And it's our clients, business buyers, that pay our fees.